So today is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Because I know everybody knows it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy way acknowledge him and he will direct your path. In the French Bible, Proverbs 3, verset 5-6. Confie-toi en l'Éternel de tout ton cœur et ne t'appuie pas sur ta sagesse. Reconnais-le dans toutes tes voies et il aplanira tes sentiers. So what is trust? Trust is a process, okay? Especially if you're dealing with people, it takes time sometimes for some people, to trust. And other people, either they have to have a testimony from someone else or they have to be used to that person, get used to that person in order for them to trust them. But I mean, to trust is to have faith, because how can you have faith if you know what I mean? It's a step, right? So I remember I didn't sign. I think somebody asked me, do you want to serve in such and such capacity in the church? And I said, okay, sure. They said, well, yeah, whatever. And then so, one day I had a meeting, so they had to, they're asking you for your driver license and your social security number. And, because I had some issues before, a couple of, at the university and a job. So, my computer was stolen, my identities and everything were, so I have a freeze on stuff. So I was like, well, you know what? Because the thing is, it's because they can't trust just anybody. Because you feel like, well, I'm not asking for credit. Why would you need my social security and my driver license? But the thing is, it's like they can't just trust anyone, because it's like they don't know you. Because the thing is, people coming out of, down the street and just like volunteer to serve. So you can't just trust anyone just because they said, okay, I want to serve, or I want a job, or, I want to be there, because it's like they cannot be trusted. Why? Because they have to know them. But in here, this is totally different, because we're talking about trusting God. Although, yes, it takes really faith to trust God, but trusting God is a process, because when you trust God, and it's a total reliance. When you trust God, it's like, I trust God because I know I trust him. But a lot of people have, they have problem trusting God. Why? Because the first time they trust, or I don't know what it is. It's like they have problem trusting God, because some people don't have faith. For them, in order for them to trust something, they have to either know about it or no. Because the thing, if you really have a relationship with God, because relationship, it's a how would I say, no, I don't want to use algebra, because it's like you can't be in a relationship if you don't know the person, right? It's like you're in a relationship or friendship with the person because you know that person, because it's like you could relate, because there's a, back and forth going on. So it's like, if you don't have a relationship with God, if you don't know God, like the Bible said, and the power of his might, you know what I mean? So how are you going to trust God? So in order really for you to trust God, you have to know God. To know God, you have to have a relationship with God. The same way you have a relationship with your friends or, with your loved ones, is because why? Because you know them. I mean, I'm inviting you today, so you have to know God, because if you have a problem trusting God, it's just because you don't have a relationship. Right? So if you have a relationship with God, it's not going to be hard for you to trust God. And the reason why, it's not like you don't have faith. It's just like you don't know God because you don't have a relationship with God. So that's why you're having problem trusting God. It's not like you have a trust problem. You just have a relationship problem. You don't have a relationship with God, and you don't know God. So I'm inviting you today. Try to rekindle your relationship with God. Then once you have a relationship with God, then you're gonna know him in the power of his might, and then you will have no issues trust him. You will have no faith issues. So okay, ça moi veut dire, mais je dis, moi dit que ok, moi t'ai verset déjà. En plus mon gen problème, mais on gen problème faire bon Dieu confiance. Raison qu'il faut gen problème faire bon Dieu confiance, c'est parce que on pas une relation avec bon Dieu. Si on a une relation avec bon Dieu, ou connaît les parce que et pas ça qui vient arriver, parce qu'on a une relation avec zami yo, ou connaît yo, ou fait yo confiance. Comment on va faire n'importe confiance à l'argent, à tout bagaille, mais avec cœur ou tout pour ça, parce que ou connaît yo. So m'a invité aujourd'hui, sous sens ou gen problème faire bon Dieu confiance, Parce qu'on va, on comprend, à réviser relation avec bon Dieu. Parce que si vous avez une relation avec bon Dieu, ou qu'on est li, ou pas bien problème faire confiance. Vous comprenez? So, it's just because if you have really strong relationship with God, the same way you have with your friend, because you trust your friend with your money, you trust people with your heart. Why? Because you know them. So once you have a relationship with God, you won't have any problem trusting God, right? And once you trust God, you won't have any problem obeying God either. Obeying the words, right? Trust and obey. There is no other ways to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey. Obey, c'est ça pour nous faire, pour nous compter dans Jésus, c'est pour nous obéir. Trust and obey. There is no other ways to be happy in Jesus, but to trust Him and obey. I'm inviting you today, tonight, now, wherever you're watching this video, trust Jesus, but obey His word, obey what He's telling you, obey the Holy Spirit. Ok, m'a invité, fais bon Dieu confiance, obéir parole. Grâce bon Dieu avec vous. Peace.